I don't like capitalizing on people's suffering. I don't like doing things just because something is a trend or anything like that. But we did have Charlie Kirk that was fatally shot during a one of his sit downs at and events at a campus. Seeing the actual footage was, to a certain extent almost traumatizing. You know what I'm saying? Like it it mirrors what almost happened to Trump, and um it's something that is hard to look at. I didn't think it was real. You know what I'm saying? I thought someone had did something, with AI or faked it or whatnot. And it was just ironic that it happened during a question, about gun violence. But my heart goes out to his family and anyone affected. The country, if not every country out there, has just been going through a lot of different stuff, around the world. But I end this to say, keep your loved ones safe, be very vigilant, out there. And you never know what will happen and when it can be gone. It can just happen in an instant, even just from a stray bullet that someone just shot in the air and it comes down. And you know what I'm saying, if anything happens, you want to just know that you've done your best on this earth. But yeah, my heart goes out to the family, and shoot him. You know what I mean? Those probably weren't the best choice of words to say together right now, you know what I'm saying? But that's just crazy or whatnot. So yeah, shocking, you know what I'm saying? He said I didn't agree with his views, but no one deserves that. Yeah, like one person in the comments that was very, very disrespectful. And like I always think about like what other people are gonna think, like the family and different things. When you like, people think they could just say anything on the internet. But like I said, I don't think that if you have, simply for having opposing views, for the wrong side, that like you should somehow be ridiculed with that or whatnot. I mean, I do think that he was brave going out and really even being willing to debate with people. That's the one thing that I think I want people to look at, is that like, despite what his views were, he's still someone who was always willing to go out and create that dialogue, with you. He let you speak about whatever your sides were, and then would tell you why he thinks a certain way or whatnot. You got to be able to have conversations with people without letting your emotions, drive you to, certain places. And it takes a lot. Not everybody is emotionally equipped to like stop themselves from doing something, for something as simple as if this someone says your mother, you know what I mean? Like, for some people it takes them everything to remember they have no idea who your mom is, right? So when they're saying that, they're just trying to say F you in a different way that will get to you and under your skin. But if you're smart enough, and if you also realize that when you get angry, your IQ level drops, right? Always remember that every single time. As a matter of fact, I learned something else the other day. I believe the feeling that you have when it comes to anger or frustration, like it only lasts about, I don't know if it's a minute or 2 minutes or something like that. So if you let the time pass a little bit, then come back to that conversation, you'll come at it, with a level head. If you keep going, if you don't listen to that side of yourself, that'll remind you about that potential, 2 minutes or so, that's when name calling and stuff like that starts to happen, and name calling jumps into, almost, physical fights and stuff like that. But if you have a cool head, you said we had war in my country for years and thousands of people died, but got peace in the end and stuff. Man, I mean, and again, as long as that because the change has to happen, and this is also like, when you think about gang violence, there's a thought that like it never stops, because when one gang member kills another, everybody else in that gang wants to get revenge on the, basically everybody else. It like the pain never stops, and so you just keep going back and forth until everybody's just freaking gone or whatnot. But then eventually you got to realize, we all should be fighting for the same thing and using our aspect of community for better, right? Like literally, if you think about the best ways to utilize yourselves and show people how in numbers and positivity, we can bring, something great to the table, man. It does something else or whatnot.